Good morning, everyone, and happy Easter. And today is the fourth session of the Healing Smile, and it's very appropriate practice actually for Easter because it's in a sense almost like a resurrection that happens after you have smiled through the whole body, and you just let the whole body and this whole sense of identity and mental habits and patterns and all the things that we are so that we grasp so tight as who we are, we just let that melt into light, and we just rest in the awareness that is left behind. And that's really, to me, that's what I understand Easter to be. It's not just this Jesus on the cross and resurrecting. It's really what is the meaning that is behind all this, which is it's something that should happen with every breath. Every breath is an Easter, because every breath we are receiving the divine life. So that's why I thought today was a good day to practice, and I decided just to stay, not to change the date. We're going to start with a practice reviewing the first 3 sections that we did, and I get this question often, like everybody has gone to so many classes and so many things, and it's quite often that, people don't know how to practice, so one of the main things that I hope everybody is getting through these sessions is like a very clear structure of how to practice. It's not the only structure, there's many structures obviously, but this is a structure that covers what we call the 3 excellences, which is like excellent at the beginning, which is when you start with a pure motivation, which is a motivation that is personal for you. There is a big motivation for yourself, not big in terms of content, but big in terms of intention, because you're connected to your sense of I want to thrive. And thriving, it doesn't mean you have to become an opera singer, or you have to get lots of degrees, or if that's what you want to do, that's thriving for you, that's fine. But the main idea of thriving is just sustaining the determination to connect with things that make you feel good. Okay, that's a very, very simple idea of thriving, and that can be under any circumstances. I just got an email from a very dear friend that her mom passed, and it was a very quick cancer, and she sent me the email, and she sent me a picture. It was, my mom passed, I wanted to let you know, thanks for your prayers, and she sent me this beautiful picture. She just took it a few days ago, and it was imminent, and the mother was dying. There was nothing to do, very quick cancer, uterine cancer, metastasized, and they were both smiling beautifully in the picture. You could see the sense you could feel, this sense of love, this sense of calmness, this sense of peace. So that's determination to thrive. Like in any situation, you can find the Easter, you can find the resurrection, you can find this connection to this. Oh, this is beautiful. This is my life. This is beautiful. So I always want to make things simple, and I start talking. So basically, all that, at the beginning of the practice, you just sit and you just connect with your personal motivation, and in a few seconds, you express that verbally, but it's really a feeling, And then what makes our practices special, and all this I'm going through page 13, okay? Page 13, you have the cheat sheet of, I think you say it that way, of how to practice, okay? So you start, you connect with your motivation, and then you connect with an altruistic motivation that brings your personal motivation into being of service to others, which is the specific characteristic of these practices. And, there's a suggestion of text that is in page 10, we'll read it. We read it usually at the beginning of every practice. And then you just read that and you just connect with this sensation. Okay, I'm going to do this practice to benefit myself and others. That's the first part of any practice you're going to do. It doesn't matter, I do this before I wash the dishes. I don't read the whole thing, but, for example, when I wash the dishes, I think, may the dirt, may the obscurations from all sentient beings be purified through the merit I accrue through washing these dishes. Anything you do, anything you do, you just be creative. Then you do the alternated nostril breathing, which is point 1C, which is not included there, but you know, I mentioned this several times. These are the preliminaries, okay? Then we're still in page 13. Perfect practice means in point 2 in page 13. So you just select the practice that you're doing, you know, one of the practices that now we're going through, the healing smile. So you read the details of the practice if you need to, or if you just have it memorized, or if you want to play the recording, just play it. And you determine you're going to practice for a few minutes, or that you're going to complete the whole section. And then you do that, you know, and then in this case, we're going to do the healing smile. Okay, and you do that very slowly, and you take your time, and you make sure there's a sense of clear awareness and a sense of just relishing yourself. We call this divine pride. There's like a worldly pride, egotistical pride that causes a lot of conflict, and then there's a kind of worldly divine pride, which is I'm connecting with my source, I'm connecting with my divine nature, you know? I'm connecting with the nature of my own mind. And then at the end of that, you do the self-massage and the dry bath. You know, you can do longer or shorter depending on your time. This is chapter 4 of this book. So that's a pure practice. Pure means that you are focused, that you're relaxed, that you do the practice in a way that is just at ease, without addition. In this case, pure is not like a morality. Pure means it's without adding, you know, without adding tension. And then the third part of the practice, once you have completed your practice, so you finish by dedicating the merit of your practice, okay? Which we also have a text here in page 11, okay? Where by the merit of having practice. So you read that. So those are what we call the 3 excellences. So, you know, if you are not getting this, I'm not doing a good job of like hammering this, because this is a basic structure. Like in the morning or whenever you're gonna practice, should not be any doubt. Maybe you print this or have it there. Sit, motivation, alternating nostril breathing, whatever main practice you're gonna do, which in this case main practice is any of the breathing practices or the healing smile, or you know, then we'll start doing the practices for healing with sound and color. Any of those is what we call a main practice. And so you do that for whatever minutes you're doing, and then you do the self-massage to finish spreading the chi through the channels, and then you conclude with the dedication. So those are the 3 sections. Is this clear? Somebody has any questions about this? No? Okay. Because then I get questions here, or I talk to people here, and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is clear. So anything that you do doing this, and it could be something like, you know, this is the structure, for example, you know, whenever you learn, or if you have learned already, dream yoga practices, or it's called the practice of the night, you know. So you're actually falling asleep, and you are activating this, you know, in order to attain, for example, awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I will practice the dream yoga in my sleep. I will recognize my sleep. I will transform my dreams, and then you go into relax sleeping, and then when you wake up in the morning, you dedicate the merit of having practiced dream yoga, for example. Okay, so anything. Okay, you want to make love to your partner, you know, anything that you're going to do, it can be, you can use this structure: motivation, being aware during the practice, and then pure dedication. And that actually accrues a lot of merit. The idea of accruing merit is that through the accumulation of merit, we purify these veils that separate us from our nature. And then our practice becomes every time both deeper and more practical in day to day. Okay, so I hope this is very clear, because this is really the essence of how to practice. And then everybody practices based on, you know, whatever time and you know, whatever, you know, your circumstances.